Friday, November 17th, Riley Davis back. Riley Friday. It's great to see you, my friend. Are you getting sleep these days?
Yeah, a little bit here and there. As you can see by my background, different location tonight. Usually I record either in my room or our guest room. My wife is sleeping in our room. My mom is staying with us in our guest room. So I moved to the nursery. So that's why you see the lovely baby animals behind me in a crib. Because my son doesn't sleep in here yet. He's still sleeping in our room. But yeah, podcasting from this comfy rocker, which is nice. But can't let the circumstances slow me down. Had to pivot, so we move.
Are you in a rocker right now?
I am.
Oh, I couldn't even. I thought you were standing up this whole time.
No, I'm just leaning forward, locked in. Trying to maintain good posture as I do it. Nice straight back, no hunch or nothing. Can't be having nerd neck out here.
Your shirt really blends in with the rocker. I had no clue that you were in a rocker at all. I thought you were standing up.
Just thought he had a little humpback shoulder situation going on.
No, I just figured that every room in Riley house has a stand-up desk in it.
That I have considered buying a stand-up desk before, so you're not too far off.
Yeah,
y'all know me too well.
So before I clicked record, I told these guys I want to be quick tonight because Carter and I still have 2 more previews to do. We're doing this whole game recap preview model and also trying to do the podcast with more creative stuff. So we have a bunch to preview for Friday. Riley is actually going to help us in this endeavor, we believe. We're still working out the details, but sounds like some of the Heat Check guys may be involved, and Riley Davis was certainly the first call. So you may be seeing more of him on the channel. We're very excited about that in the near future. But with that said, before we get into the show, I simply have to know the long form answer on how your first trip to Canes was this week.
Can I save that for my one big thing? Are we doing one big thing?
We can do one big thing. We can.
I'll tease it for people people got to hang around to the end for the full Raising Canes review.
All right,
it's special.
Our Discord wanted to know if you thought that Canes was like actual fried chicken and not just like chicken tenders.
Oh no, I knew it was chicken tenders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you buy that, Cart?
I don't know, because you texted us fried chicken, and then you also said before the video that you recorded and sent us personally that you're a fried chicken aficionado.
Yeah, but in this sense, I'm counting tenders as like part of the greater fried chicken umbrella. Like I would still, obviously there's a clear distinction between that and like if you go get a 3-piece chicken meal at Bojangles, which would get you like the leg, the thigh, the wing, etc. But I still would say, like, as far as fast food fried chicken goes, I would say like Bojangles, Zaxby's, Cane's, they all fall under that same umbrella. I would exclude Chick-fil-A because I guess Chick-fil-A does tenders and strips. I don't know. Chick-fil-A just feels different because they want to give the illusion of like slightly nicer, slightly more upscale than these other places. But I would say it's all kind of under the same umbrella.
Okay. All right. That's
I wouldn't say Cane's is a chicken joint though. I would say it's like a fried chicken fast food restaurant.
That is actually exactly what Cane's is. That's all it is. It's a chicken joint.
I think a chicken joint gives you actual real chicken, like breast, thigh, legs, wings, like any number of those combos.
Are you guys actually going around in public using the phrase chicken joint?
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
That's my go-to chicken joint.
Okay, used to be a
chicken spot.
Are you guys in like a 1980s newspaper cartoon? Like, what is this?
There was a place in Charlotte. It's called Price's Chicken Coop. That was just like legendary fried chicken, like actual fried chicken. Like you could get the whole chicken in all its pieces or whatever. Closed a couple years ago, and I do think of that as my go-to chicken joint, but it doesn't exist anymore.
Right. I used to love Chicken Shack. Do you have Chicken Shacks near you, Greg?
No, I do not. Riley cannot talk about any chicken joint without inserting the word fried in it. It's hilarious. Like that. He just added another fried to a place that exists and does not have fried in the name. It's incredible stuff. Okay. Hang around for the one big thing presented by Bigby, presented by Riley Davis, presented by Raising Canes. That'll be exciting. Cart, what's your YouTube comment of the day? Get us started, man. Please save the show.
Got you. My YouTube comment comes from Hot Dangers. Shouldn't y'all rename this podcast something about Big Ten basketball? How are people interested in the topics you discuss supposed to find you? My brother, we're building a brand over here, okay? We're not tied to anybody. We're not connected to anybody. We're conference bachelors. We might dabble in the Big Ten because of our teams, but we're talking all conferences. So no, we will not change the name Sleepers. That's what our foundation was founded on. So thank you for your comment, but no.
Also, like, just incredibly lame name. Like, welcome to the Big Ten basketball podcast.
Yeah, just
Big Ten breakdown would be equally as lame. Like you would end up with an alliteration that just it doesn't sound cool.
Big Cat's Big Ten.
That's kind of fun.
You're not allowed to go by Big Cat. Like you are, but like if that's your end goal is to be the most famous Big Cat in the world, you're always going to lose.
Why?
Because there's another Big Cat. In fact, there's multiple other Big Cats.
Is there?
Yeah.
What other besides Barstool Big Cat is there?
I guess they're less famous. Like I don't even want to reveal who I'm talking about right now. There's Big Cats in my world that are not Carter Elliott.
Okay. Also, Barstool Big Cat is 38.
So Carter has a good chance to outlive him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
so I'll pay my dues and build my brand. So like once I'm 90 and Barstool Big Cat has left us, I'm on.
Maybe you need to just change your Twitter name to Sleepers Big Cat instead of Carter Elliott __.
Do you know why there are 2 underscores under my God, we got to stay on topic. Do you know why there's 2 underscores under my name?
No.
My name is full of 2 letters. My last name is literally 2 L's, 2 T's, 2 underscores.
Why do we even need an underscore?
Because
why don't you add 2 @ signs? Like
because the Twitter name Carter @Carter Elliott is taken by some dweeb who didn't answer my DM and wouldn't give me his Twitter name. He has 2 followers and 2 people following him.
Seems like there's a lot of other Big Cats and a lot of other Carter Elliott's out there then. A lot of competition. And you're the underscores guy. Like Barstool Big Cat __. I don't think that's going on.
Siri, how popular is the name Gregory?
Seems like you don't know how Siri works. Let's move on to the show. All right, we're gonna go to the Discord. Hopefully there's some more positive energy in the Discord. We didn't even send today's episode to the Discord, so we don't have a lot of comments. We're really dropping the ball all over the place. Boom Fizzle starts us off and says, do we think Kalel Ware is having buyer's remorse on his choice to transfer to Indiana, or do we think the ability to showcase himself outweighs actual in-season success or lack thereof? Riley, what do you think?
One word sentence response would be yes, he should have gone to Arkansas.
That's a fun fit. Cart?
No, I think that he feels fine being able to showcase himself and surrounding himself with mid to elevate his game.
I agree with Carter for the record. Yeah, I think as long as he gets his 20 and 6, he's happy, and he's doing that right now. Fam, no, sorry, I missed one from Guy. You're going to love this one, Cart. Guy says Nebraska has moved to 4-0 and is top 15 in the T rank since the season started.
They've done nothing but play teams that I could get minutes at center on.
You buying Nebraska stock, Riley?
I was this summer. Then I remember they're Nebraska.
They're getting like an eyebrow raise from me. That's where I'm at with the Cornhuskers right now.
Classic. You're doing it early this season. There's always a Cornhusker eyebrow raise until Hoiberg comes and glues them shut for you.
Both Nebraska and Minnesota, who Carter consistently tells me is the worst team in Big Ten history, have an eyebrow raise from me. We'll see. Guy, we just read Guy's comment. I'm rusty tonight. I'm sorry. Tristan says, which team during Feast Week are you thinking gets exposed against actual competition? Please don't use this as a shot at Pitt. Do we want to save Feast Week for a topic later, potentially, Riley?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, we'll do that. Fam says, Happy Bluffs Friday to all who celebrate. At Bluffs, can I get your opinion on the Citadel? What is it? Any hot takes?
Citadel Military School in Charleston. I feel like I've known a couple people to go there. I have heard that they're like plebe year. The first year is like brutal hazing, and it sounds like your backup plan if you don't get into like Navy or Army. That sounds bad. I support the troops.
No,
But
I'm just
like,
I'm picturing Riley's high school, and like on the day when it's decision day and you find out if you got in or not, there's like those kids that got in the Citadel that aren't getting excited about getting in, so they kind of just go to the back hallway and break
because
down
they're
and
just
call their
about to
parents for like,
because they're just about to
oh,
get
I
hazed
did,
for 4 years.
I'm not going to UNC anymore.
It's just, I mean, Charleston's a really cool city though. So they got that going for them. They're like probably 10, 15 minutes away from downtown Charleston.
Citadel is a great name also. Like just
It
that,
is a
that
cool name.
rolls off the tongue. That's a fun one. I believe they're baby blue also. Am I making that up?
Yeah, great colors.
Yeah. We love baby blue in this household. Do you get upset if we call Carolina blue baby blue, Riley?
If you're talking about UNC, yes. If you're talking about Marquette, no.
Sky blue.
Is that like
If it's
is that like a we're too good for everybody thing?
well, it's very much like we are the most famous quote unquote baby blue and or sky blue team. Therefore, you call it Carolina blue.
So
I'm sorry, LaDainian Tomlinson and Phillip Rivers didn't walk, so you could talk like that.
Neither of those dudes got a single ring. Meanwhile, you go to the Dean Dome, you see 7 banners in there.
this is reeking of like it's not yellow, it's maize energy right now. I don't like that. Like, hey, look at our titles in the 1907s.
Okay, we only have one tie. Only one of those banners was in like the.
We have 3 topics. Riley has the topics. I did ask him to send them this time just because I was pre-making the thumbnails. So we don't need to pretend that we don't know the topics this time. But Riley, still steer the ship, please. What is topic number 1?
All right, topic number 1 is the St. John's Red Storm, because you heard it, I heard it all offseason was Rick Pitino's here to save the program. He said he talked all this, like made all these comments about how he's here to win right away. His fans are saying he's not coming to win 5 years from now. He's coming to win immediately. They got smacked by Michigan earlier in the week. They needed North Texas to miss like 5 shots down the stretch to come out with a 1-point win today in the Charleston Classic. Me personally, when I look at this team, when I look at this roster, I see so many mid-major guys to where I'm like, why is this team good? Is this team going to put it all together? Where are we at with the St. John's Red Storm?
Go ahead, Cart.
I'll go first on this, and I'll preface this by saying this statement that I'm about to say is my opinion, my point. You can take it exactly how you want to. But when I watch St. John's play, all it is a bunch of mid-major guys who wanted to transfer to a bigger school, and that's it. They wanted to transfer to a bigger school, and they wanted to play for Rick Pitino. I don't think they have any interest in playing together. I don't think they have any interest in winning. I don't think they have any interest in hustling, winning, doing anything of that matter. I really just think that they wanted to play on a bigger stage, play in the Big East, and play for the big splash name coach and Rick Pitino. I don't think that they make winning basketball plays. I don't think that these guys play for each other. There's really an underrated factor in playing against teams that actually play for each other. I mean, granted, I'm watching this Minnesota game right now, and Minnesota plays for each other, and they play hard, which is crazy to say. Say what you want about their talent, but they play for each other, and they play hard, and that can actually do wonders for you on the college basketball court. I don't think St. John's has that. Do they get that? Personally, I don't think so, because I think either you have that or you don't. You can fix offensive issues. You can fix defensive issues. You can fix scheme issues. But if you don't have guys that want to play hard, play for themselves, play for the guy next to you, I don't think you could be successful at any level, especially not in the Big East. So I just don't see it with this team.
I'm very much not a mid-major up transfer guy. Everybody knows this. I just complain about it. I think more often than not it doesn't work. And if it does work, it usually works in year 2. Like, hello, Jalen Pickett. Hello, Tyson Walker. These guys need a massive adjustment curve. And I think with transfers in general right now, obviously it's all about fit. Everyone's unique. But there's a lot of motivation levels I'm questioning. And guys that are in their final year that know they're not going to be NBA players seem like the type of transfers I would want to avoid. Guys who are just like getting a paycheck, knowing they're done playing basketball in April, and then they're on to finance or a career in Lithuanian basketball. Like that, those guys are not the most motivated to me. They know what their career is and they're old and they've accepted that. Let's get the bag while we can. I think St. John's has a ton of those guys. And I got duped because I was actually pretty impressed with St. John's against Michigan, mostly because I thought Michigan played their A-plus offensive game in the first half. And St. John's was right there. Like, I kept texting Cart and other people, I can't believe this is a game. I don't know how Michigan's not up 15 with how they're like Namari Burnett's 7 for 7 from the floor before the second media timeout, and we're tied. I was baffled by that. Tonight in the first half, I thought St. John's looked really good. I thought they were suffocating defensively. I thought the offense seemed confident, seemed like it had a purpose, knew where the ball needed to get, was sharing the ball. Dennis Jenkins was really good. Everything made sense to me. And then in the second half, it's like they got tight and everybody looked around like, whoa, I'm not an alpha. And luckily, Soriano made the plays late. I think he can be the best player on a team that wins some games, in my opinion. But they're going to need him to be, because I don't think Jordan Dingle's that guy. I can promise you Chris Ledlum is not that guy, although he did attempt one of the most ambitious dunk attempts I've ever seen in a tie basketball game. But yeah, I think in general, this is just kind of like a bubbly roster right now.
Yeah, they're even with Ledlum in that dunk attempt, like you can't wear a shirt under your jersey and attempt that dunk. Like, am I off on that? Like, that's not a type of dunk that someone who wears like a dry fit under their jersey makes. Like you
Riley, let me fill you in on exactly why Ledlum's wearing a dry fit tight t-shirt. This is classic 101 chunky in the back. You get that dry fit because it constricts. It's like kind of like basketball version of Skims. Yeah, so like, accentuates the arms, really gets you feeling svelte. In high school, that was my bag. I stayed with the dry fit, and let me tell you, like, how camera add 10 pounds, dry fit drops you down 7.5. I promise you.
So what you're telling me is Ledlum looks even more like a center when he's not wearing a dry fit than when he has it.
Yeah, Ledlum's shaped like Jason Kelsey.
Oh, geez, man, that's brutal for me to hear.
But I mean, I respect it, but like that he attempted the dunk, but he finished 2 for 7 today. Like, I know that North Texas has a really good defense, and that's a system there that works. They take the air out of the ball. They've pulled off some big upsets. Like, I don't want to undersell that. Like, that's a tough team to beat. But I just like Ledlum was 2 for 7 tonight. He was 1 for 7 against Michigan. And I think Dennis Jenkins, he shot 33% like in this game and the one against Michigan as well. Like, just looking up and down this roster, even like Simeon Wilcher, who's supposed to be your blue chipper fringe 5-star guy, got 3 minutes. And Naheem Aline, I know he's still a role player, but played for a national championship team a year ago, had a role there, only played 12 minutes. Meanwhile, Jenkins is getting 38 minutes. Ledlum's getting 31 minutes. Dingle with 27. Like, all these mid-major dudes, I think, are just playing way too much for what this team is supposed to be. But I don't really know if there are answers out. Like Zuby Ejiofor, another guy who's a former McDonald's All-American 5-star kid, got 6 minutes. It's a weird roster, and I don't know if I see any immediate fix unless like Zuby and Sim just like become contributors by middle of conference play. Maybe, I don't know.
I would play Naheem Aline. That's what I would do. And I know he's not like a star or anything, but he definitely spaces the floor. He got 4 attempts up in 12 minutes. He only hit one of them, but it was a critical one. It went from a tie game to a 3-point game when he hit it. It was clutch. So
he's also a winner. Like, on a roster of guys that haven't won previously. I mean, Dingle was pretty successful in the Ivy League, but like for the most part, like that's a roster full of guys who haven't won.
Are we counting Ivy League success as success?
Didn't they actually have success like in the actual NCAA tournament too, though? Or no? Am I making that up?
Did Penn ever make a tournament?
I might be making that up.
They did when he was there.
I feel like you're just the job interview who sees Ivy League on a resume and stars it and says, we're going to hire that guy without looking at anything they've actually done.
They haven't been to the dance since 2018.
Okay.
So all right.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
But yeah, with Aline, I remember when he was at Virginia Tech, that dude was nasty. Like, he was running off of screens, and he was a bucket, a flamethrower. Like, he torched Carolina a couple times. I remember when UConn got him, thinking like, oh, this is a huge get. Now he only shot like 30% from 3 there, but maybe that's just because he was behind Jordan Hawkins. Like, I don't see how this dude isn't getting more minutes.
Yeah,
I actually it has made me feel even better about my bold prediction that someone is quitting this team midseason.
It's a great prediction.
I forgot about that. Riley, before we move on to your next topic, I'm sorry, Ulamog. You're getting a live reaction right here. The Tigers are here, Gregory. Just let that be known. The run is happening.
There's a lot of work.
Making a push.
There's a lot of work to be done, but yeah, it's on in the background right now. We're just not supposed to acknowledge that.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. Yeah. So we still think it's Ledlum. That was your pick at the time, right?
Yeah, Ledlum was who I predicted.
For the record, that missed free throws on you, Card.
Sorry.
It's okay. I love you, but like, come on, dog. Come on.
We had you're right. You're right. I'm better than that.
Ledlum's definitely the guy who leaves. He like, is there any chance Riley's a Pokemon guy? Why do I feel like he might be like a Pokemon lore guy?
I'm not a Pokemon lore guy.
Not a Pokemon guy?
What the hell is Pokemon lore?
Yeah.
Well, just some people are like really into Pokemon. I'm not
like the lore of Pokemon.
The lore of Pokemon. Okay. I thought it was like a separate chapter or something.
No, like you're gonna hit me with like, oh yeah, I owned like game, like my XPs. Like I don't know what any of that means. I know a few Pokemon, right? With that said, I feel like Ledlum is like an unevolved Grant Williams. That's where I'm at with it. Like he's the base level Grant Williams, and then as you get better and better, you become Grant Williams.
He's Bulbasaur, and then he can evolve into
Grantosaur.
Yeah, Barbarasaur, or whatever the next one up is.
That's what I was looking for from you. You got some Pokemon lore in you. That's nice.
Yeah, I had Pokemon cards as a young kid.
Nice. I mean,
I once sold a kid a fake Blue Eyes White Dragon.
In Yu-Gi-Oh, I was a Yu-Gi-Oh for Pokemon.
Oh, that's Yu-Gi-Oh, isn't it? Oh, okay, yeah. I did that.
I think I tried. I used
probably
to
sold it. I probably sold it to someone from Riley's high school.
I used to print out like Yu-Gi-Oh cards and like tape them over other cards, like better cards, and try to say like, oh yeah, this one just like went. I left it in my pocket and went through the washing machine.
Oh, that's crazy.
It is crazy. All right, let's go to topic number 2. Actually, no. One final thing on St. John's. Where does their season end? Like, do they make the NCAA tournament? Do they lose in the first round? Go further? Where does the season end?
I don't think there's. I don't want to say there's no way they make the NCAA tournament, but they feel like a NIT team that like is pissed to be there and loses in the second round.
I don't think they make the NIT.
Wow. Oh, come on. They're better than that. All right. I'll be the only guy who says I think they make the tournament. It's Rick Pitino. I think he finds a way. By the way, isn't Soriano like right up your alley as like an archetype guy? Like, why do you not love Joel Soriano more?
I do love Joel Soriano. I'm sorry that he's surrounded by players that don't want it. It's a damn shame.
He seems awesome. Like I really love his game.
He is awesome.
I do like his game. Yeah, he looked good. I didn't realize his wingspan was that long too. Like you see the tools when he's altering shots and everything.
Yeah,
I love Soriano.
Shooting threes now too and hitting them. Like I buy the shot for real. It's impressive. All right, Riley, what's next?
Yeah, topic number 2, we're going to do miniature Feast Week preview, but a little more broad view of it and just talk about which teams have the most to prove this upcoming week.
Did you say mini Feast Week?
What I said
no, I'm saying I'm asking you, did you say mini Feast Week?
I said mini Feast Week preview.
Okay, one might say that it's a appetizer.
A fried chicken appetizer.
All right. Riley didn't like that card. I knew where you were going. I
thought that was great.
I really liked it.
Appetizer week. Yeah. All right, let's do an appetizer preview.
Okay. All right. How do you want to run this, Riley? What do you want from us?
I want to hear y'all's teams first for which teams you think have the most to prove, and then I'll share. I have 2, actually, really 3 that came to mind. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil them, but one may be of particular interest to a Discord member who has been insulted that he's shaped like a lunch lady by none other than Carter Elliott before.
Tristan straight up asked for this and then said, please don't diss my team. So I'm sure he'll be very excited about this.
The work that's on Minted.
Whoa, sorry. I just have some loud music coming. I was trying to look up the Maui Invitational bracket and got hit with a YouTube ad. That's horrible. So there's a couple teams in Maui that I have my eye on. Everybody knows this is like on paper the most loaded tournament field ever. I think you could say whoever wins this tournament obviously proved a lot. I have my eye on a couple of the non-biggest names this tournament. Like, I think we know Tennessee's really good. They're going to show up, and regardless if they win 1 game or 3 games, they're really good. Same for Marquette, same for Kansas. I have no questions on those 3 teams, and I'll throw Purdue in there. I don't have questions on if those 4 teams are good. But then you look at the rest of this field, which is still really good, and it includes Gonzaga, it includes Syracuse, it includes UCLA. All 3 of those teams are teams that I have circled for various reasons in the non-conference. Gonzaga, we had our questions about early. Then St. Mary's went down. They're kind of looking like no matter what, it's still like the conference is going to run through them. And if they can come into this tournament and like win 2 games, I think it's time to actually acknowledge like Gonzaga's here to stay and they didn't take a step backwards at all. Going to Syracuse, I gassed them up all offseason, right? I mean, I gassed them up constantly and said this team has the best backcourt in the ACC. Judah Mintz, ACC Player of the Year. His numbers are pretty good. They were really good in the first game, and they're just not good. Like, even though those guys are good, the team as a whole isn't good. On paper, I would expect Syracuse loses every game they play in this tournament until they play Chaminade. But if they can steal one against somebody that matters, maybe that lights a little bit of a spark plug. And then the last one for me is UCLA, who I think a lot of people will want to lump in with the first group of teams we know are good. We don't know UCLA is good. They haven't covered a game this season. They've been 30-point favorites in every single game. They were trailing at the half to a team that is horrible. I don't even remember the team's name, but like they've really struggled. Some of their overseas freshmen that were coming have not played yet. Like Burke hasn't played yet. I do have a little report from ears within the gym on the West Coast that Burke is going to be available for the Maui Invitational from the first game on. That's the expectation. Breaking news on Sleepers. And Daymara finally played more than 11 minutes in this last game. They still missed a cover by like 12 points, though. So those are the 3 I have my eyes on. I cheated. I went all from one tournament, but that's what I'm most excited for in the main course of Feast Week. Cart, what do you got?
So I think for me, if I can somehow get to a Syracuse Gonzaga matchup, a Syracuse Purdue matchup, I think for me, and that is possible if I'm not reading the bracket incorrectly, right? Can anyone fact check me on that?
I can fact check you on that. You want Syracuse and Purdue?
Yes. Is that possible?
Let's check the bracket out, my friends.
Okay.
Give me a moment.
Because that for me, the guards of Syracuse going up against the Purdue guards, like this is when you finally see, some guards that can hang with Braden Smith and can hang with Fletcher Lawyer and Lance Jones and all that. I would love to see what those guys are made of and what they look like against Judah Mintz and JJ Starling. Now, is it unlikely that Syracuse team gets past Tennessee? Yes. But if I could have it my way, I would love to see that Purdue team match up with the Syracuse team. I think it'd be interesting.
Syracuse will face Purdue if both teams win their first game or if both teams lose their first game.
Okay.
Who's Purdue's first game against?
Purdue has
Gonzaga,
right? Opening round. Syracuse has Tennessee, which again, way too much orange.
Yeah, way too much. And Greg, I'm surprised you didn't say this and stayed in the one event. I think this is for everyone on this Zoom call. I think what everyone wants to see is Atlantis. Like I think that's filled with great teams. I think Villanova is the worst team in that tournament. I truly think it is. Like, you got Arkansas in there, you got UNC, Memphis, who I think people are sleeping on. Old, play hard, play together. Like, everything that you want St. John's to do, Memphis is actually doing, and it looks good. I'm all in on the Tigers this year. I will continue to hold my stock for them. But yeah, like I'm very, very intrigued. I think that's going to be my favorite one. And then the last one that I'll talk about is if we can end up getting a matchup at MSG between me and Riley's Texas Longhorns and the defending national champion UConn Huskies. I need that. That'll be cinema. That'll be cinema.
Card, I feel like we actually just got hit with like a full-blown Thanksgiving meal. Like, I feel like you brought out like the rolls first, and then you came with like mac and cheese. Like, you served the turkey. All of it happened at once. I don't know what to choose from here. I love all your answers, for the record. I want to just quick respond to the Battle for Atlantis one and kind of maybe throw it back to Riley, since both our teams in this. You said there's great teams everywhere in the Battle for Atlantis. What if there is?
Did I say great?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I think
somebody good teams.
Somebody can fact check me. I know we got a lot of people that are fixated on words you use in this program, but I'm pretty sure you said there's great teams everywhere. My counterpoint to you would be, what if there's not a great team in this tournament? I don't think there is.
Well, then they're all good teams.
Yeah, maybe. I think we're going to learn a lot about a lot of these teams. Like, we're going to learn, is Memphis good or are they Memphis? We're going to learn, is North Carolina last year North Carolina or are they this year North Carolina? We're going to learn, is this Michigan start a joke or is it for real? We're going to learn Arkansas. Arkansas looked really bad, by the way. I think Arkansas is probably the best team here, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of winnable games for whoever's actually good here.
Yeah, especially whatever team plays Villanova.
UNC might get Villanova in the second round, which
perfect.
If this makes it back to the coaching staff, please practice a 2-3 zone between now and then, because Villanova is helpless against it. Just watch the Pin Quakers. But yeah, the two that stuck out to me were from Atlantis with Arkansas and UNC. Arkansas struggled a little bit in the first half against Gardner-Webb, struggled against Old Dominion well into the second half. And what's interesting is they're shooting 40% from three right now. As a team, which was like supposed to be their biggest concern coming into the game, because Caleb Battle had been hit or miss from three throughout his career. Trayvon Mark hasn't been a shooter at Villanova, at Houston. L. Ellis was streaky throughout his time at Louisville, and for the most part, like Trevon Brazile is hitting threes right now. Battle and Mark have both been hitting threes. Those haven't been the issues. I guess it's been more on the defensive side, maybe. Like they allowed Old Dominion to score 77 on them at home. And yeah, that's where I'm wanting to see, like, is this typical, like a must-bust fooled you where he always has teams? Like, I want to say that one of the teams that made the Elite Eight lost to Hofstra in the non-conference. Like, could very well be possible that we see the Hogs completely re-energized in Atlantis and they win the whole thing. That wouldn't be surprising at all, but we got to see how all these pieces fit against legitimate competition. And Carolina's a little bit of the same way. Just like Arkansas, they have 7 transfers coming in, 2 freshmen, brand new team. And yeah, they battled with Radford well into the second half and allowed Lehigh to erase a 15-point deficit in the second half and get within 3. And there's been a lot of mixing and matchings of rotations. And the more and more I look at this UNC team, like, personally, yeah, I think Elliot Cadeau should be the 5th starter. They're really good at the 1 and the 5 with RJ and Armando, both of who are living up to the pedigree, or playing some of the best ball of their career. I think Harrison Ingram has looked awesome as well. I think Cormac Ryan, he's been a little bit streaky from 3, but can get there. But the question mark for them is, like, who's going to fill that 5th starter role? Is it going to be Paxton Wojcik? Is it going to be Jalen Withers? Is it going to be Elliot Cadeau? I'm like, there's a very obvious answer here, but I don't think the coaching staff sees it the same way I do, to where, like, we should learn about that this upcoming week as well. Like, can one of those dudes be serviceable when the competition gets to these, like, top 50 or top 25 teams?
Yeah, those first 2 guys are all right. RJ and Mondo. They're all right.
All right. Thanks, Greg.
I know they're getting their numbers in dogfights again. That's kind of been their whole thing, right?
Okay, RJ has looked borderline unguardable this year. I know it's been against 2 mid-majors, but we'll see. Like, that is going to be, I'll go ahead and make that prediction that he's going to average over 20 points per game in Atlantis.
How do we get Michigan versus UNC in this tournament?
It has to be in the championship.
It had to be in the championship?
Yeah. And it'll be
okay.
Doug cannot check RJ, Greg. I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you that now.
Doug wouldn't be checking RJ.
I guess it'd be Namari.
Yeah, and Namari
can't check him either.
Namari
cannot check RJ either.
Namari definitely can check RJ.
He's gonna give whoever's on him buckets.
I hope we get the opportunity to preview and recap this together. That'd be really fun. Here's why I will do one quick pitch on why you should consider Michigan to win this tournament. Michigan has looked unstoppable offensively when they play teams that want to speed them up. Every single team in this field wants to speed them up. They will not play a team the entire tournament that wants this to be a half-court game. If you want to speed Doug McDaniel up, more power to you, my friends. I don't think there's a player in this tournament, whether it's the Arkansas backcourt or RJ Davis or whoever the hell will line up from Doug McDaniel, that can win one-on-one against him in a sped-up ballgame.
Does Villanova speed people up?
We're not going to play Villanova.
Okay, all right. Okay, just wondering.
I think that
Carolina's looked pretty good running this year. I'm gonna go. I'll let you know that they got multiple dudes who can lead the break. I don't know. It will be scenes if we get RJ versus Doug. And I think Doug has been incredible, but hopefully I will be doing a Chug McDaniel that night when either RJ or Elliott has a 20-8 game.
Doug Cadeau will slap.
We need, like, you don't even have a cool name for what you would do if your player went for 20-8. Like that's how you should know, you know?
We got a few days. Last team I wanted to mention with something to prove is Pitt. I was going to talk about them even before Tristan highlighted them. I don't want to spend too much time on it because it's Pitt, but they've already elevated themselves to a top 50 team on KenPom. We have to give respect there. Carlton Carrington has beat the odds of being named Carlton.
Bub. On this podcast, he goes by Bub. Okay.
And he's been lighting it up with a triple-double and just being generally awesome. Blake Henson's averaging over 20 points a game, and they have a decent test in Florida. If they get past them, they get a really good test in Baylor. And I'm pretty interested to see, is Pitt just gonna go right back to being a bottom feeder in the ACC, or can they be on the right side of the bubble, maybe even higher this year?
I like Pitt. I like Bub mostly, but I think Blake Henson's really good. I think Bub is an actual NBA guy, immediately. I said that earlier this week, but it's hard to deny when you actually sit back and watch this game. The kid is special. He's one of the best guards in the country immediately. He kind of has it mentally too. He's not just doing this. When I watch him in a game, he's not doing it just off raw talent and that's it. He has the pace stuff down. He has the sense of the moment stuff down, which to me is what you need. If you're going to play a freshman guard and have him be your featured player, you need that element as much as you need the talent in order to have a successful season. So I see it with him. I don't know. I know you said we call him Bub here. Also, his real name's Carlton Carrington. Shouldn't we that's a great name on its own. So is Bub, but
but I also think no one wants to be Carlton. I just can't. You just think about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air Carlton.
Alliteration though. Seaton.
Yes. The Seaton is dope. I just wish it wasn't Carlton.
Okay. I guess that's fair.
Carlson. If I could give the Carrington family any advice, Carlson Carrington would have been cooler.
That's very true. That's very fair. All right. Well, hopefully we get some matchups that we want out of this game or out of this tournament. Going back to Battle for Atlantis, that is. I want to talk to Riley about North Carolina and Michigan if we get the opportunity. We've gotten to do it a bunch of years lately. I'd really like to do it this season as well. What's your final topic here, Mr. Davis?
This was predictions for this upcoming weekend. What do you think is going to happen?
Sorry. Predictions for this upcoming weekend?
Yeah. Anything that you got on tap?
I kind of already brought this up, but I think that UConn really embarrasses Indiana. I think it gets ugly, and they've been winning games, but everything hasn't looked pretty, and I think fans are getting a little uneasy, and I think a 20-ish point never in doubt route kind of sets the alarms off for real. And for what it's worth, I'd love to see that.
What's the number when you say you think it could be a blowout? What's the number?
25 plus points.
Call your shot.
What do you mean?
25 plus is a big window. That's what I did with Michigan and St. John's the other day, and then it was close, but call your shot. Is this a 39-point blowout or is this a 25?
They lose by 28 points.
Okay.
I love that prediction. I was thinking when I saw after watching Indiana again struggle with Wright State, I think UConn's going to make light work.
If they're giving up that many threes to some guy who hasn't scored named Wellage, what is Cam Spencer going to do to them boys? What is Caravan going to do? What is Tristan Newton going to do? And then they got Klingon down low to contain Ware. It's going to get spicy.
Okay, so I like the prediction. I think you're right. The only thing I want to add is I think it will be a 20 to 25 point loss, but I think Khalil Ware is going to be incredible in it. which is worse for Indiana. Like if Ware shows up and is great and they still get 30-pieced, that's what I think will happen in this game.
You got any predictions besides that, Greg, for this weekend?
I don't know. This slate stinks, right? Like,
yeah, it's not especially good. I have one in mind for like a sort of. Oh wow, we get Maryland. We get Maryland Villanova tomorrow.
Riley,
may I take this moment for just a moment?
Riley,
I'm so
sorry. The agenda never dies. It might be on life support, but my friend, it will never ever die.
About our Longhorns or about something else?
About a certain player's brother who played at Michigan State. The agenda will not die.
Oh,
shout out to Christie. 3-Man Weave. The Missouri Tigers are here.
Let me just take a moment to thank my fans. I'd like to thank my mom and dad for putting me in this position and all support through the years. I'd like to thank Riley Davis for being here. This is the biggest moment of my betting season. I'm calling it right now. The back was against the wall. There were people chirping. There were chirps. I got some people in the mentions, got some people even in the Discord that are big-time supporters kind of looking at me sideways like, oh, Greg, what's going on? Oh, you're 2-unit plays down 18 with 10 minutes left. No, they just rattled off a quick 24-2 run to end the game. That's what happened.
Are you under the influence, or like do I just not get this because I don't gamble?
I think you don't get it because you don't gamble. But also, no offense, Riley, I'm sure you have a very happy, fulfilled life. I can't imagine a life without the thrill of a good gambling win. Why would you want to rob yourself of what we're experiencing right now? Like, what's the greatest euphoric feeling you've ever had in your life? Outside of your child, of course.
Yeah. Like, I guess probably when Carolina won the national championship in 2017 and like running onto, or the Bucs Super Bowl win in either 2003 or 2021. Take your pick. Probably 2003 because I was 8 and like sports ones just hit different back then.
You could have left that take your pick to yourself, but okay.
Never forget, I got rejected from the Lions bandwagon because we have Super Bowls, plural. As far as gambling though, I feel like I get emotionally invested in sports enough. Like I really can't imagine adding any more stress to that.
Super fair.
And every time I say like, oh, if I were to gamble, I would make this pick, it's always wrong.
Well,
like I've said that in some of our group chats and they never hit. Riley Davis picks are always off. What are you going to say there, Greg?
No, it's a hard life. It's a hard life. I was born into this life, for the record, as was Carter. Like your family's been taking you to Las Vegas during the NCAA tournament since you were 6. Like my father has put blood, sweat, and tears into the gaming industry. It's who he is. Yeah. My first casino trip, I was on dollar slot machines as an 11-year-old.
Yeah. There's rumors that my mother went into labor in MGM Casino in downtown Detroit. I can't confirm them, but the rumors have swirled the past couple of years.
Yeah, we didn't ask for this life, Riley. It just is what it is. Sorry. Anyways, we got sidetracked. Ulamog, I'm so sorry, but that was just a night-altering event there. The weekend slate itself is not good. This is probably the last not great weekend slate of the season, though, right?
Yeah, sounds about right.
But you get
maybe
UConn,
some in December.
You get UConn, Indiana. What else do we have this weekend?
So my prediction. This is like an under the radar MTE. Providence is playing in the Baja Mar, and I like them to win it. Beat Kansas State and probably Miami.
Ooh, Miami too.
Mm-hmm. Providence is really good. Like they defend. They got good guards. Like Garway Dual is hardly doing anything. He had one big game, but I think he only had 2 or 3 points in their last one against Wisconsin. But he's supposed to be like a lottery type talent, and he's shown some flashes. He's really shifty and good playmaker. Devin Carter's been shooting the ball well. Like I like this roster construction, and I kind of think that Miami's a little more susceptible than we realized.
I love that pick. I was really impressed with Providence against Wisconsin, but also caveat that it was against Wisconsin. But
at home at Providence.
Yeah. Okay. Can I go real spicy here? I don't have a prediction for the weekend, so I'm just going to add spice to Riley's, just a little sprinkle here. Are we sure that Kim English isn't a major upgrade from Ed Cooley?
Ooh.
Are we positive that's not a potential outcome here?
Maybe. I don't know. He just didn't really do much at George Mason.
Yeah, like he didn't do anything at George Mason really.
And he got talent there.
So obviously you've watched enough Providence to inform your prediction that they're going to win this event, right, Riley? Like, have you ever seen a Providence offense look this good?
Fair point. Maybe like the Chris Dunn, Ben Bentil days. I love that team.
I mean, fun team, but even those teams were running the flex. Like there's always a ceiling on an Ed Cooley team, right? Because they're just gonna run the flex action over and over.
Yeah,
again. We got to clip this and somehow get it to Providence Twitter. It'll.
Yeah, seriously, clip this and we will get plenty of views.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm here to say, like, you need to hold me accountable and ask better questions. I'm out.
Also, can I say my little Ed Cooley anecdote? Like, I was at the.
Please.
Also, yeah, clip this for Providence fans. At the NCAA tournament in Greensboro, after they got packed up by Kentucky, literally a Providence beat reporter said, "Ed, is this your last game coaching Providence?" And he got very offended.
Yeah,
Which,
that press conference thing was weird to me.
The whole tough questions thing was, I don't know. I don't know. Ed Cooley seems like a cool dude. Like, he seems like he'd be a good hang, but some of his press conference rants have been a bit odd.
Are you saying that you think that Ed Cooley's pretty cool?
I do think Ed Cooley's pretty cool.
So do I for the record. So is Greg just abandoning us for the one big thing? Literally, we're at the end.
Yeah, I guess so. You want to intro it, Cart? You want me to?
I guess I'll intro it. I'll intro the one big thing today, and I want to throw it to you though first because I need these Canes takes, and you already gave us a little sneak preview of what it's going to be. So for everyone who stuck around for Riley's Cane takes, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so I let Greg and Cart know this ahead of time. I was a little bit skeptical of the Raising Cane's hype just because, no offense, I've heard a lot of Midwesterners and a lot of Northeasterners and a lot of like DC type folks hype this place up. And like I said, growing up in North Carolina, we eat a lot of fried chicken, and I'm putting chicken tenders underneath that umbrella. So I have high standards, but it just it completely lived up to the hype and then some. Thought the tenders were perfect, very well seasoned, perfectly crispy, very tender, as the name would suggest. No rubbery bites at all. Like, there was not a bad bite of a chicken tender there. I really like that Raising Cane's knows what it is too, to where it's like we have chicken tenders, we have slaw, we have toast. We don't need to dress it up with any extra fluff. This is what you get. And cane sauce, incredible. I am not a huge sauce guy. Like, I like sauce, but I wouldn't say I have to always have sauce. I said, you can measure a good French fry if it doesn't need ketchup. And I think Chick-fil-A fries, you don't even need to put anything on them. They're that good. But I was like, that cane sauce, I could not get enough of it. Went through both of the containers of it. Toast was great as well. Very fluffy, very buttery. And yeah, it was just good atmosphere. It's on Franklin Street on UNC, right by UNC's campus. They had a bunch of Tar Heel decor in there, which was nice. So overall, I'd give it as far as fast food goes, 10 out of 10 easily. Only complaint was French fries were slightly bland. Could have used a little more flavor. The crinkle cut fries, not the best, but you don't really go to Cane's for the fries. It seems like the fried chicken and the toast more than made up for it.
Man, that toast that we got the first Raising Cane's. I think it's the only one in Michigan currently. It's actually in East Lansing. And man, it hits every time. Caniac combo, no slaw, extra toast, extra side of sauce. Man, it just
is the way to go.
It's absolutely undefeated. My one big thing is, I don't know. I actually feel like I've talked about this before. So if I'm repeating myself, I 100% apologize. But it also won't be the first time that I repeat myself probably on this podcast. But my one big thing is that do not invite me to any get together or function that involves eating if we're going to a tapas or small place. Do not invite me. That's dumb. I don't like it. It's not fun. I don't want to share with you. I don't even know even if I'm going with my family, I don't want to share with you. I don't. So let's just not do that. Let's just be grown-ups. Let's go to a place with a menu and order what you want to eat.
Kind of like tapas places, but I get the frustration. I was skeptical of it until I found some good tapas restaurants.
No, completely out on tapas places. Also completely out on Actually, I'll save my Thanksgiving food takes for next week, for the actual Thanksgiving week. But we will have some Thanksgiving food takes next week.
Should we do a one big thing for Greg?
Yeah, I think my one big thing for Greg is
I
just
didn't
never
think
give
that
up.
I was going to get out of here without a one big thing. Did you?
Okay.
Come on, come on. I actually have a small thing, a medium thing, and a big thing. Is that all right, Carter? Is that okay?
Pause, but yeah.
Okay, thank you. We do a segment called One Big Thing Daily, and you're going to pause me when I bring out other things tonight. Come on. My small thing is this. Riley, did you just say that Chick-fil-A fries are good enough? They don't need ketchup?
Yes.
You're putting Chick-fil-A fries in like some top tier of French fry?
I think they are.
That they
Chick-fil-A
are.
fries are
They
really
are
good.
They are.
Oh boy, am I on
Are you putting what are you putting
McDonald's?
McDonald's first?
As far as like fast food fries go, honestly, like I don't think McDonald's is like untouchable or anything, but I actively sometimes do not go to Chick-fil-A because of their fries. I think they're just bland
You're in the
nothingness.
minority. No,
I love Chick-fil-A fries.
Chick-fil-A fries go crazy.
Ugh. I don't trust your fry palates, boys. I'm sorry. And I like to think of myself as a little bit of a fry connoisseur.
All right, move on to the next one.
Okay, I mean, come on. Sorry. My
Your
medium
palate
thing
is comparable to Chris Ledlam.
Yeah, Greg does have some questionable food takes. So if anything, it makes me feel more justified.
Let's call it like it is, right? The kid's amazing. We both love him like a brother. His palate stinks. It's awful. It is. It's his one downfall, to be honest. Everything else I think he's great at. He does amazing.
Yeah.
When I
heard some of Greg's food takes, it made me like there was one time where he mentioned a peanut butter and jelly quesadilla or tortilla, and I considered it, heard your other food takes, and I'm not going near that combo.
All right. I mean, everybody has strengths and weaknesses. I feel like the Ledlam thing was a little bit of a fat joke. I'm not going to let that slide. I'll keep a note on that mentally. It's okay. My medium thing is that my dog, shout out to my dog, Frankie Collins, buzzer beater tonight. Huge comeback. They were down 7 with a minute and a half left. It's always good to see people that you once grew close to go out and succeed in the world. So shout out to Frankie. I've always believed in you. My dog, Franklin himself, coast to coast in 5 seconds with the game on the line. Nifty little up and under. And the foul, by the way, and the 1 on the ground. We didn't need it, but I would have preferred it for the numbers and the 1. So shout out to Frankie. And my big thing, permission to get like semi-real for a second?
Yeah.
Permission
granted.
Okay? I mean, I kind of became your show down the stretch when I left you guys. I banned you guys, but got a lot of really nice wishes from people today. I put out my first Action Network article. And if people are listening to this and didn't see the tweet, I'm going to be doing a lot of writing over there. It's the first time I've ever been like on a staff as a writer before. So Riley has actually shared some kind words to me in the past that he enjoys some of the writing that we've done for the Sleepers newsletter. It actually helped me with confidence a lot because I've never viewed myself as like I viewed myself internally as I like reading my writing. I've never viewed myself as like I could choose that as a profession or do that route. But I'm looking forward to it. Action jumped right in. Shout out to Sean Paul, by the way, who got me in connection with the person who ended up hiring me. And everybody knows my job situation went south 2 days before the season. But it was really nice. A lot of really nice wishes and congratulations today as I move forward into my next chapter. And so thank you to everybody who did show some love. And also, while that's being said, I would be remiss not to mention the fact that you can't count me out. Okay, if I'm down 0-4 on a daily picks day and it's looking like it's headed for 0-7, I'm going to rattle off 3 straight, including a 2-unit play that needed an 18-point win to make sure we net out even. If you fire me, if you lay me off 48 hours before the college basketball season, I'm going to bounce back. I'm going to come up with more content on this damn channel than has ever happened ever before. We're going to spin it into a positive. We're going to do it in a fun way. We're going to make some money doing it, and everybody's going to have fun. That's my one big thing. I'll see y'all next week. And see.